I mean, we can let everybody know behind the curtain fully.
Behind the scenes.
So
how this shit goes down.
So we said the same thing, right? Exactly the exact same way. It's like, fuck, right? I mean, you can't. There's not a single flaw you can find in Kindig's Corvette, right?
No, that's a once. That's a once in a long time.
That's one of those like generational cars.
It's a generational car, right? Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like,
it wasn't like I was offended. Like you see a car that's similar quality. There's a lot of cars that are that quality.
Like if we pick, like you're like, so if we pick the Ring, if we pick the Ring Brothers, car,
I would be
pissed. Would you be pissed? Fuck those old ass
motherfuckers. Me, come on the pod, like, go fuck yourself.
Still sick.
But so we're sitting there and we're like, just like you said, that is 100% the best. Not only the best car that you guys have ever built. It's one of the best cars that's been built in the last several years, right? So you're just like, the car's one of, if not the nicest cars at SEMA, right? But you can't like tell Kindig like, oh, fucking Riddler's good enough, right? Yeah. We've it's the fucking best car there.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So
absolutely.
We're sitting there at dinner. It's just the three of us, and we're going back and forth, and this is an hour and a half long, right? And you're kind of like,
we put a lot more effort into this than I think
nobody really realizes that.
We were phoning friends. I mean, I called Jesse Greening. He wasn't there, and I'm like, there were things I was bouncing off of him.
Yeah,
and he was super thorough with a lot of stuff too, like giving me like super detailed feedback. Yeah,
it comes down to when we're talking about get one to the 5, and stuff like that. There's way more than 5 that are vying for that, and you start narrowing it down, and then everybody's got opinions. We have our entire staff that's in it, and like you said, you're phoning friends, you get their stuff. You try to get as much information as you possibly can, and on the best on the rest side of things, it's been one thing, right? We invite more than one person,
and a plethora of people.
We invite a shit ton of people, right? And we want to have those guys in. And
happen to try to sound smart.
There's never a limit of like, oh, we're gonna have a top 3 or a top 5 of best on the rest, right? If there's 2 cars that we think are fucking badass, we'll invite 2, right? If there's 7, we're gonna invite 7.
Yeah.
But we go into it knowing kind of like what the winner is. So we're sitting there and we back and forth, and it's an obvious thing, but at the same time we're conflicted. It's like, this is not right because your car is that fucking badass. If you take Riddler out of it, and if that car didn't show up, your car is the best car there. But the car did show up. But at the same time, it's like, so that's when Jeremy's like, he said flat out, he's like, this is our award. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We can give 2 of them. We can 100% give 2 of them. And then it was kind of like, well, all right, well, we can do that. We can tell them we're going to think. And Phil's like, I got an extra one. I brought an extra one. Like, you've got to. Everybody thinks that it was planned.
Yeah, runner up to Dave is okay.
It was, no, we didn't do runner up.
I know, I just like it.
Specifically didn't do runner up.
Yeah.
And it was worked out. Instantly when he said it, we were kind of like, oh.
First, you guys wanted to look
Mom and Dad aren't home. Yeah, we can eat all night.
You're fucking stupid. And then they're like,
I think
we can do everything.
Yeah.
I think it was even cooler for my side of the experience, it going down like that, because...
What's going through your head when we announced it? Because obviously you're like, okay, I get it.
So
but
going in there, like in the back of your mind, you're like, maybe they won't give it to him. But like at that point in the party, you're like, it's like you see Dave, he's there, this and that. You're like, it's a given. Like, so you write that off. But not that I wasn't having a good time already.
Right.
But then when it got announced and it started getting announced, I'm like, holy fuck.
So you guys were completely surprised, right?
No. Like I had people behind me, my wife's there.
Standing by the stage, we were just down there all hanging out, and all of a sudden they were like,
everyone starts grabbing me and this and that. I'm like, holy shit! Like, and it would have been more surprising. It was more surprising that way than like if Dave wasn't there and we showed up at the Grand National and I've been like, yeah, it's probably the nicest car here. Yeah. And then when I would have rather have it the way it was, honestly, because it was like,
cool.